You know that China and America are the two richest countries in the world, but who is the third country on the list? We searched a lot, but what we found was a shock and a surprise to us. We expected it to be a European or even an Asian country, but we found that the third richest party was a company and not a country. Its name is BlackRock. If it were a country, it would be the third richest country in the world. And what you hear about Tesla, Amazon, Apple, and Facebook is nothing compared to BlackRock. Who is Larry Fink, president of BlackRock? What is the story of the richest company in the world? How do you control a fortune of nearly $10 trillion? BlackRock is an American multinational asset management company headquartered in New York City. Founded in 1988, it will become the world's largest asset manager, with nearly $10 trillion in 2022. BlackRock provides investment, advisory and financing risk management solutions. Larry Fink presents himself as the son of a shoe salesman who grew up in a Jewish family in the modest suburbs of Los Angeles. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in political science, 1974, and a master's degree in business administration, 1976, from the University of California at Los Angeles. After his studies, Larry Fink moved to New York and worked for the First Boston Bank, where he participated in setting up the securitization market. There, at 29, he became the youngest director in the history of the bank until 1986. His office suddenly lost $100 million after interest rates fell unexpectedly. Khan turned the desired CEO into a despised person from all companies and banks until he resigned in 1988. Creation. BlackRock started in 1988 under the impetus of 8 partners, 4 of whom still hold positions within the group. The founders consist of former employees of First Boston and Lehman Brothers, around respectively Larry Fink and Ralph Schlosstein. The name of the company is, in its infancy, Blackstone Financial Management and then belongs to the Blackstone Group. The company focuses on bond securities and notably develops the Blackstone Term Trust, a fund that has raised $1 billion. In 1992, the company was renamed BlackRock. In the same year, BlackRock accumulated $17 billion in assets under management, then $53 billion in 1994. In parallel, BlackRock developed a global asset management tool, Aladdin, acronym for Asset Liability, Debt and Derivatives Investment Network, a risk management platform that has established itself as one of the most well-known technological tools in the financial sector. Initially reserved for internal uses, the Aladdin system opens up to external uses from the middle of the 1990s to enable 250,000 transactions, as well as billions of financial calculations, to be performed per day. 2008 Banking and Financial Crisis. During the banking and financial crisis of 2008, the company resisted market turbulence and strengthened its influence. BlackRock is charged by the Federal Reserve of New York to ensure the management of $30 billion assets of the bank Bear Stearns, in order to facilitate the rescue by J.P. Morgan Chase. Besides J.P. Morgan Chase, other Wall Street companies seek advice from BlackRock, such as Morgan Stanley or AIG. In 2009, when the stock market was at its lowest due to the 2008 crisis, BlackRock doubled in size by acquiring, for $13.5 billion, the company Barclays Global Investors, the management subsidiary of Barclays Assets. The operation allows BlackRock to double the amount of assets placed under its management and to become the world market leader. This acquisition is the second largest merger in the history of the asset management industry. Ukraine crisis of 2022 and 2022. The company exceeds $10 trillion in assets. Indeed, BlackRock experienced an increase of $1,500 billion over 1 year, recording the strongest organic growth in its history. Between the end of January 2022 and February 28, 2022, BlackRock recorded a loss of $17 billion on its Russian assets, which fell in value from $18.2 billion to $1 billion in this time frame. This is BlackRock in short, the largest company in the world. Before we conclude, do you think that BlackRock controls some countries and governments?